So I've always had a bit of a difficult relationship with the genre shoegaze. It's a genre that's widely considered one of the best genres and, has constantly pumped out some of the greatest albums of all time. I personally have never really felt that way about many of the albums in the genre that are considered so highly. This isn't me attempting to differentiate myself from other music critics or music people considering it is so beloved, but personally for me, it's just never really gotten to that level. I've always found that there's a bit of a lack of a human touch. Many of the vocalists in these acclaimed albums just don't really have any like melodic tone to them. They're just kind of robotic, very stiff, and it's kind of part of the whole shtick. I get it, but I just need a human singing the songs. And a band like Westkust hits that spot for me. This is a shoegaze album that I can well and truly say I love. Swedish band that have been on the scene for a few years now. They dabble in indie rock with mixtures of dream pop, noise pop, and shoegaze. Their music is doused in reverb, but their music is also doused in melody. Does that even make sense? It's not even a thing. The vocalist has a beautiful voice. The tracks have so many great guitar tones. The choruses break out in quite an epic way most of the time. There's just so much character to the music, and I really appreciate how they're able to kind of change the pace on many tracks. Some tracks are really like heavy in terms of like, the indie rock element, but some tracks are really slow paced with the dream pop elements, and it just all works together really well. It's all mixed perfectly, to be honest. I think it's because the band keep the aesthetic very consistent throughout. The shoegaze elements are always consistently there on every track, but they match the intensity sometimes when the drumming is propulsive, but when the tracks slow down, things get really soft, and it still manages to stay really consistent. I just really appreciate the way the band does this, man. I mean, at times it gets so abrasive, and yet you can still feel every word that the singer says. It's not like she's being washed out and you can't hear anything. It's not like she's singing in this monotonous tone. It's never like that. Like, she's always got so much energy. She's always got so much beauty to her voice. Even though at times the noise is just so jarring to the ears that you really gotta turn down the volume, to be honest. So you're gonna fucking get tinnitus. How do you say the word? Honestly, I think the thing I like the most about this album is really just the guitar tones. The guitar melody on Daylight is gorgeous. I cannot get over how beautiful this sounds. And this is essentially all I want from the genre. This is Ryan core shoegaze. This is the shit I like. I want intense drumming, but at the same time, I want things to be laid back and just to kind of soak up everything without having to pinpoint elements of like, okay, this part sounds too quiet in the mix, or this part is too high in the mix. There's never any moments like that here. Lyrics are quite nice at times, but I wouldn't really say there's anything here that's gonna catch you out in a way that makes you go, oh, that's actually really poignant. Although at times they are pretty lovely, but they're not really the standout element of the album, I wouldn't say. I guess in terms of criticisms for the album, a few times like they do the sing with the vocals where like at the end of the line the last word gets elongated out, like mine. Obviously I don't have the vocal effects to do the thing that they do, but it just does this like, and I guess the closing track probably could have wrapped things up a little bit better. It just kind of feels like another track on the album could have really been placed anywhere. Doesn't really feel like a big climactic ending, but other than that, the closing track probably could have ended things off a little bit better. It just kind of feels like a track on the album, doesn't really wrap things up in a particularly interesting way, but it's still a good song, and that's kind of it really for criticisms. There aren't really many big ones. I just really like this album. This is an 8 out of 10 for me. This is the kind of shoegaze I really dig, so I hope you do check this out based on my recommendations, and if you get any enjoyment out of this, let me know, and if you have listened to it, let me know your thoughts on it as well. But yeah, I really like this. 8 out of 10. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Go check this album out if you haven't already. Have a good day, and goodbye.